Oh, welcome to the Budget Mom YouTube channel. I'm Kumiko Love from thebudgetmom.com, and today I'm taking you along with me as I update my savings goals binder. What is this and why am I doing it? So this is actually all of the different sinking funds that I'm saving for in cash. Let me explain what sinking funds are if you haven't been with me for a while or if this is new to you. So sinking funds is just essentially saving a little bit from each paycheck to cover a known or expected expense that you know is coming up in the future. Okay, this is not like using your emergency fund where it's unexpected. These are expenses or savings goals that you know are going to happen in the future. You're just preparing early and in advance just by saving a little bit from each paycheck. So I just got paid this on the 1st of May. And what I do for my budget routine is I go to the bank and I pull out cash for any cash spending that I'm doing for my variable budget spending and any cash that I'm using to save for in my savings binder for these sinking funds. Now, there are some sinking funds that I save for in cash, and there are some that I save for in different and separate savings account at my credit union. Why do some I save in cash and then some at my in different savings accounts? So for me, it's personal preference. If it's cash or a savings goal or something that I need access to the cash very quickly, maybe I need to access it many times a month. Maybe, like for instance, like my Christmas sinking fund. If I see a present throughout the year that I know I'm going to want to give as a gift, I can just go to my cash sinking funds and pull out the cash and do that. For me though, mainly, the sinking funds I save for in my different savings accounts at my credit union are for much bigger goals that I don't need access to. So, for example, property taxes. I have a sinking funds for my property taxes because I know it comes up every single year, but I don't need to access it for that entire year. And it's quite bigger. I mean, it's a bigger goal for me. So I leave it in my savings account at my credit union. So bigger goals that I don't need to access as frequently go into different savings accounts. Cash sinking funds are like my son's sports, holidays, birthdays, that type of thing. So let me show you what this looks like and let's start stuffing my savings goals binder. Okay, to show you very quickly what this looks like, when I create, this is my paycheck budget tracker. I'm using the Budget by Paycheck workbook full size. And what this looks like when I'm doing my paycheck, here are all my different sinking funds. Now, of course, every budget's going to be unique. Everyone's going to have their personal goals and values. For me, I have no debt. I'm debt-free as of 2019. So I'm able to throw more of my assets and resources from my paycheck, more dollars, towards other things like sinking funds. So everything in white here on this list of sinking funds are the ones I'm saving for in cash. All the ones in pink are the ones that I'm doing online transfers. That's what it looks like essentially in my budget when I'm planning for this. All right, so now when we go to my savings goals binder, this is my sinking fund savings tracker. And essentially this is just me planning out for the year what I want to save for on my sinking funds, the goal amount, when I want to have those due by, how many months I have to save, if I have any money saved already. Essentially, this is the worksheet that I use to figure out my plan as far as my sinking funds for the entire month. Now, if we go into the binder, I have all of my different envelopes. These are all stuffed with cash. And then at the very back, I have all of my different trackers. So let's first stuff the envelopes. All right, so for Valentine's Day, I'm going to be saving $8. So 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have $8 here for Valentine's Day. I'm just going to stick that in my envelope. Now on the back of each envelope, I write down, there's a little tracker on the back of the envelopes. And so I'm just going to put as of 5/1, even though it's not 5/1, but this is when I did my paycheck. So I'm just going to say for May pay plus 8. So now I have $71 saved for Valentine's Day. So that envelope has been stuffed. Next, Christmas. I'm going to save $182 for Christmas. 1, 50, 60, 70, 80, 1, and 2. So I have Christmas, stick that in my envelope, right on the back. May 1st, this is for my May pay, plus 182. So that means I have 910 for Christmas. And I'm going to do this with my other sinking funds. So 4th of July, I'm doing 17. So 10, 15, 16, 17. 4th of July, stick that in there. And then write it down. Plus 17, $85. $85 for 4th of July. Okay, back to school. Back to school. I have 8 to save. 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have $8 here for back to school. Stuff the envelope and write on the back. So May 1, May pay, and I have such sloppy handwriting. So $290 for back to school. Okay, wedding anniversary, $13. So 10, 13. So we have $13 for the wedding anniversary. Stick that in. Five, 1, May pay, plus 13. 65, $65. Sports. Let's see, for sports, we're doing 15. So 10 and a 5, 15 for sports. Write it down. May 1, May pay, plus 15, $388. Now you can see on this one, on 1/3, so in January, I rolled over $313 into my sports. That's because that's the amount that I didn't use from last year. So of course, I had to make sure that I counted that for my savings plan for the rest of the month. So because I had already such a big chunk rolling over from last year, I didn't have to save as much throughout the months to get to my goal this year. Okay, so Chris's birthday, $67. 50, 60, 5, 6, 7, 60. So you have $67 for Chris's birthday. Stick that in the envelope and write it down. So 5/1, May pay, plus 67, 268 plus 67, $335. I already have $335 for Chris's birthday, getting close to that $400 goal. For Dante, I'm only saving any leftover cash from my envelopes. So I didn't have it a part of my sinking funds this year, but just whenever I have leftover cash in my variable spending budget envelopes. James's birthday, so if we look at James's birthday, we're going to be doing $58. So 50, 5, 6, 7, 8. So $58 going into James's birthday. So 5/1, May pay, plus 58. $290. I also have a $200 goal there, so we're getting close to that. Okay, So my envelopes have been stuffed. Those have been done. Now it's time to update my trackers. Now, for my trackers, each of my trackers has 100 little icons. So I just take my goal amount. So for example, James's birthday, $400 goal divided by the 100 icons means each icon represents $4. So if we go to James's birthday, which is right here, we have $290 saved. If we took the $290 that we have saved divided by 4, which is what each icon represents, 72 of these little icons should be filled in. Each line has 10, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Okay, so I should have this whole row colored. So get that colored in. I should have 72 of these. So come down here, actually 72 and a half. And you can fill in just half of an icon like this. So that one's been done. So we're going to do this with our next one. Dante. So Dante, I was actually able to do a rollover here. So he has $133 in there. So if we go to Dante, once again, each one is worth 4. 133 divided by 4. So 33 of these should be filled in. So that's this one. Because I did such a big chunk, I'm actually able to color in quite a bit of these icons. Okay, and you should have 33. Okay, so that's done. Next one. Chris's birthday. So Chris's birthday, we have 335 in Chris's birthday. If I divide that by 4, so 83 of these should be filled out. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So we should have to fill in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So here. See how close we are to getting this one. Okay. Okay, next one. Back to school. So with back to school, I have $290 back to school. So, we're getting close to our goal. So 290 divided by 3, 96 of these should be saved. So just color in these books. Got that one done. Christmas, I have $910 saved for Christmas. 910 divided by 20. So 45 of these should be colored in. So let's go ahead. 10, 20, 30, 40. So 45. Now, I like to use different colors for each time that I save. It just gives me a quick visual. For instance, I can look at the color before this, which is red, and say, okay, that's how much I saved last month. So it just allows me to see very quickly any savings trends. Now, because I'm saving the same amount from each paycheck, it's pretty much the same. But there are some times where I come into some cash or some things, or I get a refund or something like that I can throw towards this. So it just helps me see that visually. So wedding anniversary. I have $65 for the wedding anniversary. Each one of these is worth $1. So I should have 65 of these. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, 65 of those. So that one's done. Valentine's Day. We are at $71 for Valentine's Day. So $71 for Valentine's Day. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. 1. So that one's been updated. Next, 4th of July. So just go back to my 4th of July. I have $85. So we should have 85 of these filled in. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So 85 of these. Okay, so 85 of those. That one's done. Okay, property taxes. Now, property taxes is one that I save for in a separate account. However, I like to track the visual of it. Property taxes and house insurance. So currently in property taxes, I have $2,571. If I divide that by how much each icon is, that means 28 of these should be filled in. So that's going to bring us to, oops, I'm going to use the other side here. Okay, so that one's updated. Now in my house insurance one, I have $957. And if I divide that by 31, I'm getting 30 of these should be filled out. So that's going to bring us to the end of this row. So making some small progress on that. Okay, now all of my trackers have been updated. I can see from these trackers, I'm getting really close to James's birthday, Chris's birthday, back to school. Getting close with Independence Day, 4th of July. This is helpful because once I save for these, I don't start saving for them again in January. That means that I'm going to free up the money that I am putting towards these goals, and I can put them towards other things. That's why I always get curious, like, okay, how close am I? Because then I can save, you know, $17 here. And I mean, it adds up. It adds up. So that is updating my savings goals binder. Now I do this every single time I get paid, which is currently just once a month on the 1st. And it's just nice having all of my different goals and visuals in one place. It's very motivational because I will tell you, having sinking funds where you're only saving like $5 a month or a couple dollars each paycheck, it doesn't look like you're making a lot of progress. Like in your mind, it doesn't seem that way until you start tracking the visuals of it. Then you can see actually visually, I am making progress. I do get to color in some icons on my trackers. It's slow, but I can see it. And that's what I love about having everything in one binder. Now, I will put links in the description of this video. I get asked if I sell this little packet of the binder and the printables and the cash envelopes. I do. I don't sell the binder. I just got this little, I believe it's A5 6-ring binder from Amazon, but I do have as a full little packet the sinking funds envelopes and trackers, and I'll put a link to all of this in the description of this video. If you found this video helpful, please like it and don't forget to subscribe.